Well, wasn't that fun? Good morning again, Daniel Valdez again. Good to talk to you all again. You might as well get this out. We'll take care of this pretty quickly. San Antonio Super Regional in the books. Let's go over the results. Thank you to everybody who said hello to us in the stands, everybody who sent us messages and all that stuff. Live blog through Bands of America was awesome. Thank you so much to those people for taking care of us all weekend long. We really appreciate it. Like I said, the site's come a long, long way from, running up the stands, trying to save seats and whatnot. So glad to take care of all that stuff. So let's get to it. First things first, congratulations. Regional champion, San Antonio Super Regional, Flower Mound High School, 96.60, second highest score ever at a regional. Last year was Claudia Taylor-Johnson with their insanely high score last year. Pretty interesting results. We're going to go over just a couple of quick points because I know a lot of people have raised some concerns or questions and all that stuff. So let's take a look at it. So Reagan was actually first in prelims, and then Flower Mound jumps over them in finals. It's definitely one of those things where you kind of didn't know how finals was going to go, and that's the kind of situation you get with the double panels, the panel 1, panel 2, and I know people had concerns about that sort of stuff. It's a little, it took some explanation. I think that everybody kind of got the gist of what they were trying to accomplish. And I know a lot of people were freaking out that no, panel 1 took over. They messed it all up. Well, let's actually analyze this real quick. Out of the top 7 placements, like the top 7 bands, like the last 7 bands you saw in San Antonio, 4 of them came from panel 2. Think about that. And then panel 1 had 3 out of the top 7. And then the majority of the rest, like 14 through 8, were basically almost all from panel 1. So, I mean, it's different. Like I said, you're not going to get any hard, good data on this until it happens after a couple of years. You had Indianapolis, you had St. Louis, and then you had the San Antonio Regional. Remember, it was an 8-6 split. 8-6 split, so that's 8 bands, panel 1, 6 bands from panel 2. Now, panel 2 had more bands in the top 7, but overall, panel 1 had more bands overall in finals. So, another thing I wanted to bring up real quick is that I know, and I'm adjusting my microphone real quick, sorry. I'm actually doing this outside just because it's really nice outside. I apologize for any ambient noise. A lot of people, there seems to be a lot of animosity out there about how the system's broken, we got to fix everything, and well, hold on just a second. There are 84 bands at this contest. There are 84 programs at this contest. That's a lot, okay? So that's like 14, I'm sorry, I can't even count. That's like 16 less than what it used to be at Grand Nationals. So whenever you have big contests like this, the stakes are really high, and it also means that they're going to be, just because it's a numbers game, you have more bands that are competing, there are more bands that are going to be disappointed, or they're going to not agree with the results, or they're going to get a lower placement than what they had expected. And that's understandable. I get that 100%. At the same time, you have to understand that this is a very, very stacked contest, and you have more programs year after year after year that step up their game, and they sound better, and they look better, and they're able to create more effect on the field, and they perform better, and the excellence is rising in a lot of programs. And I think that's something you have to consider whenever you talk about these big contests. It's not just the same programs that do well over and over and over again. I know at the top it definitely seems like that. However, there were a lot of programs that had very fine performances that didn't get into finals. It's kind of like, state. Yeah, there were programs that deserved to make state, but they couldn't, it's just, sometimes it works out that way. It's the same way with the Super Regional. You have a lot of programs that didn't maybe do as well as they thought they would. And the point is, if you're improving and your product is getting better throughout the season and going on year after year, that's the whole point of it. Get better as the season goes on. It's very difficult to not worry about placements. Trust me, I've been there before as a performer. It's very difficult to not worry about placements because think about it, you're in a giant dome, you see way more band trailers out there than you've seen before in the parking lot. You see way more students walking around, getting concessions, sitting in the stands. You see more of that. And again, this is the largest regional that there's ever been for Bands of America. So you look at that stuff and it's overwhelming. You're like, the size of this contest has grown like so much over the years. And it can be a little intimidating. At the end of the day, if you enjoyed your performance, then that's what it's all about. That's exactly what it's all about. And again, it's hard for a performer to turn that part off of the mind, because you have forums boards and you have rankings and you have all sorts of stuff, and you really want to focus that because you want to be justified. The performer wants to be justified, whether it's a trophy or a medal or a certificate or something. They want something that says that their work has been validated. Your work has already been validated. You get it through the applause, you get it through the support of your parents, you get it through the support of your band boosters, all that stuff. It's hard to keep that stuff in mind, but at the end of the day, when you gain a little bit more perspective as you grow as a performer, that's kind of what it is. That's kind of how you need to look at it. Again, finals, awesome performances. Everyone was just on fire. Vista Ridge jumping up 3 placements from 7th to 3rd. I mean, my goodness. And talk about maxing out performance at the end of the year. That's what it's all about. I mean, and that's just one example. Flower Mound, I mean, you're like, how did they make that jump? I mean, they performed incredibly well in finals. And that's what you have to do. You have to take your product and you must perform it to the best of your ability. And then you see where it happens. That's just kind of how it goes. Congrats to LD Bell. Congrats to Westlake getting into finals. Definitely, Westlake going on to state, going on to final, getting finals of Super Regional. That's really good for the program. And again, you just, you take those good things, you put them together, and you build them. You build up. Bell wasn't able to make state this year. However, they did get into Super Regional finals, so that I hope that was a nice cap to the end of the season. So congratulations to them. You look at the results. I mean, we were sitting there reading, waiting for the scores to get announced, and they started off with an 88-4, and like, oh, what? Really? Again, we're going to do this again? And again, just like last year, you had to at least get a 90 in order to make it to the finals contest at San Antonio. It's difficult. There are a lot of programs out there, and there are a lot of programs that sound really good. There are a lot of programs that look really good. Okay, so it's, this regional is not for the faint of heart. it's hard to make yourself stand out when there's so many programs here in this state that are so good at what they do. Thank you so much to Camdenton, from Camdenton, Missouri, to coming out. Got to meet a couple of their instructors. Thanks for all the swag that we got from all the band parents and all that fun stuff. We love getting that stuff. So if you see us at state, please come find us, and we'd be happy to take some of that off your hands. Just reading through the results real quick. 14th place was LD Bell, 13th Westlake, 12th Hendrickson, 11th Marcus, Cedar Ridge 10th, 9 Keller, 8 Woodlands, 7th Vandergrift, 6th Leander, 5th CTJ, 4th Vista Ridge, 3rd Hebron won music. Reagan in 2nd place. Reagan won visual performance, and Flower Mound, as your champion, they won general effect. Reagan's show is one of those things that just grows on you. It does. Just the whole entire, like from the pre-show and then the post-show thing, and they move so well. They sound so good at low volumes, and I noticed that a lot. As Marcus was the same thing. Sounding good at low volumes is really, really hard to do, because the integrity of sound sometimes gets lost. You got to keep the airflow going, and it's, there's all sorts of stuff. There's all sorts of mechanical stuff you got to do as a performer in order to make that happen. And then to get 200 kids to do that at the same time is very difficult. So congratulations to those programs on just fine shows. And I think that's it. So you all can debate away, and I understand people are upset about, results and everything. It's one of those things you just got to take a deep breath and go, did I enjoy my time out there on the field when I was out there? If the answer is yes, then, then you're good. You're golden. So let's see. What else do I have to say? I think that's it. and I know why. I think a lot of people were freaking out because a lot of the captions, almost all the caption awards, went to programs that were in Panel 1. So you're thinking, wow, that was Panel 1. Wow, that was Panel 1. We were doing the same thing at the press box. We're doing the exact same thing in the press box. But at the end of the day, 8 came from panel 1, 6 came from panel 2. This is one of those things, when you've got a judging system like that, you just got to perform. Performers need to perform. That's it. Everything else is essentially out of your hands, and you just need to knock out your show and hug and cry after the performance because you laid it all on the line. So thank you so much for listening. I am going to get out of here and get a little bit more rest, and then we will see you at the state contest. UIL State 6A, there's nothing like it. Thank you so much for listening. Take care. Adios. Bye-bye.